Welcome to another class. What is content, guys? And let's start with saying subscribe, guys. It's a good thing to do. It's for your passing. So, exercise 3.1 is a lot similar to what was happening on your problems, on your examples. Ne? It reads as follows. Prepare a graph for a monthly forecast and average forecast demand for this company. So your average, let's look at average forecast demand. So what you are doing is 1000 divided by 20. You're getting your demand per day. Again, then you plot them. Again, that's what you understand. Then you take the total days and your total demand. You say demand over the days again. Then you're gonna get the average. The average is your target of the month or target within these 6 months. So what it means is on our previous question it was a 50. Ne? I hope I'll see something. It was a 50 like this. So as long as you are meeting 50 units per day for the following months, you are guaranteed that you're going to meet your target. Okay? But in reality, the target days, they fluctuate. Okay? So then you do this. 3.1. I'm not going to do it. Ne? But if you come across to it in the test, you mustn't say we didn't do it in class. You must go and do it. It's for your practice. I can't do easy things, guys. This topic is one of the most difficult topics. I need to jump to serious things that went to university. So another one that is a practice question. This one is not a test question, no matter what. There is no way I can wake up and ask this type of a question. 0 is not part of the... No, I cannot. It's a low-level question. So it is based on the example that you have done on page 538 and 542. You just change the figures and you redo whatever that you have done on that example. Ne? And then is for practice, for you to understand this concept. I am not testing this. There's no way I will test this question. No ways I can. 13.2. Yeah. Then test questions starts here. But earlier 13.1, I clearly stated that don't be surprised if it comes. It's a way whenever I want to balance the exam or a test and say, hey, this is too much, let me make them draw that graph. So I do ask it. Ne? The first one. This is personal sciences. I've already reported that Melbourne, the people who came so far are the electricians. So I'm hoping next week, from next week, the class must be. I will always complain. And yeah, this is disgusting. I'm prepared to even tell the team, not the team, dinner. I want the VC for this one. Today you have VC engagement. Please note, tell them that the state of the classrooms, it's not make sure. We're not happy. I'm not happy. But lucky enough, we have someone who's dedicated in the department that we can always report. So I did report all the issues I am facing with all the venues that I attend to. I hope they will fix. If they don't fix, I escalate. So now, there are terms that you need to understand. We call it level strategy and chase strategy. No? Understand them? Because all the questions are revolving around that concept. Level strategy and chase strategy. No? So, now, the president of Mukwena's enterprise. That's how I phrase my questions. Tebogo Mukwena projects the firm's aggregate plan or aggregate demand requirements over the next 8 months as follows. Those are your aggregate plans. I like this. It will hit you somewhere. I'm going to highlight it. It says demand requirements. You see that the statement, demand requirement. In that question, I can say requirements. It's also demand. Or I can say demand. It's also requirement. Understand? It's what is expected. Keep that in mind. Her operation manager, which is you, is considering a new plan which begins in January with 200 units on hand. Yeah? You are given 200 units on hand. The 200 units on hand was produced in the following year, at December. Yeah? It comes into January. It was accounted for on the 31st of December. You are no longer accounting it in January. You are accounting it once you use it. Yeah? And you're going to use it. I'm going to zoom. Also open your textbook in case that I'm in a wrong. My projector is not the best. Forgive me. I needed to have my own. So, stock out cost of lost sales is 100 per unit. Stock out. Guys, I don't know how to put this. This thing will sound rude. We are a rude nation, unfortunately. And we are, in a way, tribalists. But it's how we live. In a professional setup, I mustn't say this. I'll try not to even say it now. When you go to our African shops to go buy bread, to go buy sunlight, to go buy whatever, what is one thing that they commonly say to you? Discount. No, you're going to buy to them. No, they're not coming to you. You're going to buy to a tuck shop owned by a South African. What is a common thing that they always say to you? You get there, can I have airtime? Can I have bread? Can I have tin fish? Can I have that? Can I have that? What is their first response almost 100% of the time? And it's the reason why we have the Pakistani shops. What are they saying? They always say Aiko. They're selling Aiko 100% of the time, basically. All of them, and that's why they're closing shop. So that's just the opportunity cost. They are losing sales because of that. They're selling nothing. And then they're losing. The moment the customer comes to you wanting X amount of products and they don't find it, what is their next step? Next stop. Lost the sale. So same apply. The stock out cost in the lost sales is 100 per unit. It's 100 per unit. So the inventory holding cost is 20 per unit. Ignore idle time. The plan is called Plan A. It's going to vary the workforce. Yeah? The workforce is going to vary. If you don't vary, you are constant. Understand? If you don't vary, if you don't fluctuate, you are constant. To execute a strategy that produces the quantity demanded in the prior month. Ne? Meaning that December we're producing X amount of products because of they were demanded. Then this month we want to produce that demanded product. Understand? Every month we are producing the previous month demand. Yeah? So we are producing it. When it's 1,600, this month we are going to produce 1,600 for the previous month. That was demanded. So now they say this was demanded in December and it is 1,600 units. Then they further said the cost of hiring again workers is 5,000 per unit. Hear me very carefully. I want you to deal with this 5,000 unit right now, not later, because under some strain you're going to lose it in the midst of calculations. You're going to use that 5,000 as it is. Yet it says 5,000 per 100 unit. It's not saying 5,000 per unit. You understand? So that already is math that is not mathing. You need to solve it and simplify it. And then the cost of laying off. This is a cost of hiring. 5,000 per 100. The cost of laying off workers is 7,000 per 7,500 per. Then I'm going to deal with this animal already, not later, now, so that it doesn't hit us later and then you wonder, what did you do? So the 5,000 per 100 is equals to the 7,500 per 100. It's equals to, do you see that? We have 50, we have 75 per unit now, per 1 unit. Because if it happens that when you want to hire, you hire one person, what are you going to do if you are dealing with 100 units that are required? So you need to simplify it per 1 unit. Once they are leveled up, then you can multiply. So now we are done with that. We are now working now. Come here. Guys, this could, you can equate this to 1, man. This thing writing January, February, old school, man. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want 0. 0. Add 0. 8. Create a line like this. This thing is 2. I want to take it up slightly so that I can write there. Then demand. The demand is what is written there. For January, don't make a mistake, not for December, for January. Leave December out. 1,400, 1,600, 1,008, 1,008 again, 2.2, 2.2, 1,008, and 1,008. Okay, then we are now want to produce juice. What are we producing? The previous month, again, which is 1,600. Ne? The reason why I put a dash there, you can easily make a mistake. You will account for it if you write it down. I don't want to write it down there at 0. I always avoid to write anything there. Because under strain and pressure, you'll make a mistake. So, because here it was, the 1,600 was actually coming from there. But I don't want to show it. Ne? It was for December, because we're at January. So, now here, 1,400. Do you understand what I've just did now? We are taking the previous month's demand to become our current production. 1,600, okay? 1,800 1800, 2200, 2200, 1800. Just like that. For some reason, all these calculations, they always have inventory. The inventory heading there, it's always there. What did they say about material on hand? They said we have 200 units. Again? So you don't account for it, but you will write it at 0. 200 units so that you don't forget it. But you don't account for it. You can summarize and scratch it out. Guys, I'm dead serious. These silly mistakes, this is a dynamo effect question. You make a mistake with that 200, it will affect you. You need it because of you want to use it when you are doing the first step. But when you're calculating the total cost, the inventory, you cannot include it. Because it was accounted for December. But we're going to account it for it January. 1,600 is what you have produced minus what is required. You don't follow the bigger number. No, it's production minus demand. Then the answer that you are getting, it will determine whether you have inventory or you have a shortage, meaning that you must now apply whether to hire people, fire people, and also to subcontract, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, let's move right along. Minus 1,400. Hey, I need it now. So issue 1,400 plus the 200. Now it comes in plus the 200. Do you see that? The 200 comes in and help us. It's rescuing us. So now equals to, the value is bigger, it's 400, isn't it? So now we carry the inventory. 1,400 minus 1,600 plus 400 equals to, is it 200? Yes. The 200 is the inventory. It's what we have on hand. It is possible that December, before when we are producing sweets, we have 200 sweets on hand. You understand? This month, January. Then we produce. In that production, that 200, you can't dump it. Again, inventory has a price. You pay workers to produce it. There's a price. So you need to add it into your demand, meaning onto your production. It helps with the production. So it adds up onto your production. Then now your production goes, your inventory goes to 400. And then that 400 is the one that you account for at the end of the month. Then now we are producing 1,400 minus 1,600 of the demand, and we have on hand 400. So we add that 400, the answer is going to be 200, right? Okay. All right. And then 1,600 minus 1,800 plus 200, 0. Like it. 1,800 minus 1,800 equals to 0 again. When you get a 0, just a second, when you get a 0, it simply means that you have satisfied the demand. You get my point? You don't have any extra inventory that you must pay for. You understand? Inventory you paid for. I'll make something out of this world. The longer you stay in a program, government is losing money. You are in inventory. You don't. And they put us under pressure. They want you out. We report why you are failing. You get a point? No lecturer in their right mind must celebrate the failure of a student. I must tell them. But right now you are just your man. You cannot celebrate that we are failing because you are affecting our future texts. My kid must come here tomorrow and start with that very same numbers that I am wasting because when you are celebrating that I'm failing. You understand? It's criminality, that thing, basically. But I'm not implying anything. I get guys. So, Yabo. Oh, well, the credit 200 was charged by 1,600 minus 1,800 plus 200. That is zero. Yes, we've lost our inventory. Yes, our inventory is our advantage in a production line. The disadvantage of inventory, if it's fresh food, you don't want inventory of fresh food. You know that. But if it's cars, a car can park there by the sun. The next month when they place orders, we take it out. Take this one, it's already produced. This is what it means, guys. You understand? We have those things that are on the side. In quotas, they produce enough, king, what do you call this, the chips. That is their inventory. So that when you come, they just warm up and they push the orders. That's inventory. Then now, 1,800 minus 2,200 equals to, things are suddenly now starting to change. We're getting a negative sign. Of how much? Of 400. You write it as is. Then you carry on. 2,200 minus 2,200 equals to 0. Then 2,200 minus, yes. Okay. We'll apply a certain cost. We couldn't produce enough. We are owing the customers. Then we said, you are selling an equal. This is when you are selling an equal. You don't have the capacity to produce that 400. Other questions, with that negative, you will now employ a strategy of hiring, not necessarily hiring extra, but of subcontracting, or you opt for overtime. Okay. If you can't produce, you must think out of the box. What is it that we must do? Are we ready to lose customers? You ask yourself that question. If you're not ready, you apply the strategy. But you don't, in reality, yes, you apply the strategy. Here, you look for the information I gave you. You apply what I give. Yeah? Yes. If I say you lose cost, you are losing cost. You are losing sales. So, 1,800, it's again negative 400. Then this one, 800 minus 800, 0. The next step is a very interesting one. Really? Yeah. I like it when you are sober, guys. Yo, it's good. I'm not saying that you are always, no. I'm saying when you are sharp. My former, yes. We must edit. I wanna this one. So you add them up, their inventory. We're going to have, actually, there's another stunt that they do, these guys. There's an option of adding them up and then you write them on the bottom, or you can multiply them across. Let's do the one across. It looks neat. We'll do them across later on. So now, we want to track now. We have stock outs. Stock out. Something that Pakistani shops don't allow. Yo, those guys, ask them a random thing that you know that, this one they don't have. They'll have it, Baba. Hey, those ones. Yeah, they self-produce. So, yeah. And then we lost sale. Now we want to cover something, a change in production rate. We want to check the change in what? In production rate. Because the question said to you, you vary the workforce, meaning that today you want to produce 400 quantity, but you have the amount of people that can produce 1,000. So those people are actually getting paid for nothing. You understand? So they must go. As harsh as it is, you lay off or you hire people. You understand? You lay off or you hire people. So you come and analyze here the status here. From 1,600 going to 1,400. We were here 1,006. We're going to 4. We're going down by how much? By 200. So it becomes negative 200. That's a sign of change, that one. Always ignore the first part. Then obviously this one was 1,600 and then this one comes here, that change. We were going down minus 200. We're only focusing here now. And usually I change the type of pen I use when I get here. I say this one went down by negative 200. Then from 1,400 it goes back to that. You see that? From 1,400 it goes back to 1,600. So it goes up. Then you must make sure you write in the same line. Plus 200. Ne? Then it goes up again. From 1,600, 1,800. Plus 200. And it maintains a steady pace. 1,800 on the other month. It remains there. Then it goes up again by 400. Do you see that? It goes up again by 400. Steady pace. It goes up again by 400. 400 plus. Then it remains steady. Then it goes down. Steady. Then down. By 400. Right. Then now the next step we are doing this. Hire and lay off. Hire and lay off. I don't know in your case, but I believe we still have modules that still don't have lecturers, that are still trying to hire temp lecturers. Understand? So they're hiring. December, we no longer need them, they'll lay off. Understand? Yeah. So now, when it's negative, you lay off 200. When it's positive, you hire 200. Hire 200. Hire 400. Lay off 400. Are we in the same boat with this? Yes. Yeah, boy. Because remember that 1,600 is as is. Again, we started producing 1,600. It's not that we're coming from anywhere yet. Yeah, when you don't look at demand. When you're doing this, you don't look at demand. You're only focusing on production. Production remained steady at 1,600. Meaning that if you didn't have any workers, if you were to appoint people, you were going to appoint people or equipment. Sometimes you borrow equipment. There are so many companies whereby you can go and hire equipment. You hire this X amount of equipment that can produce 1,600. Then the next month, that demand goes down to 400. You are now producing 1,400. So the moment you produce 1,400, there's 200 worth of equipment units. Ne? Then you take them away. Yes. Then, any other question? So that's how we have this. Positive, you add more stuff. Negative, you remove stuff. Ne? Meaning employers in other ways. Then now we are doing the cross extra cost. I said you can go down and multiply the total cost again. You can go down if you want to. You can say this one is 600 and you add it here. You multiply by, remember, what is the cost of layoff? There was 7,500 over 100. So you can multiply this by 75. Here, there and there. Or you do that in extra cost. There's another table, they say extra cost. Whereby now, this one is tricky. You must take out your calculator and you start with the first line, this one. You start with the first line, this one, which is 400. What is the 400? What is your carrying cost? After this is inverting. That's your invert taken. What is your carrying cost? From the question. There, 20 bucks. Here. Again? Yes. So we have 400 units. Multiply by 20, you have 8,000. So I said for this one, 400 multiplied by 20. Then I move, there's nothing else. Then I go to 200 multiplied by 20. 200 multiplied by 20. I'm getting 4,000, but I'm not going to write that 4,000 yet. I see that I have layoff. I'm firing people. You see that? Layoff in the very same line. So it's 200 multiplied by 20 plus, you put that in a calculator again, plus 200 multiplied by the value of layoff is how much? Is 75 again. Then plus 200 multiplied by 75. You don't need brackets. Your smart calculator don't do brackets. No? You don't need them. Just write it straight. It will figure it out. But your phone, I might not recommend anything. So you get 19K. Ne? So you do this until you get to the bottom there. Or, as I'm saying, 600 multiplied by 75 there. Then you come this side. How much do you have? 800. 800 multiplied by 50. You come to stock out. Stock out is 400 multiplied by, you still remember the stock out price? 100. Yes, multiplied by 100. Then you come this side, which is 600 plus 10, 14, which is 1,400 multiplied by, what is our carrying cost? Get 20 again. 20. You can, then you add them up. Or you do them across. Because of both strategies, they give you the same answer. I will leave it to you to decide whichever works for you. Ne? But me, I want to see the answer. Again, for argument's sake, let us finish off these ones. Hey, got the easier method because hey, that other one is long and I'll end up doing mistakes. Now I'm tired. I started 8 o'clock. And you must know, now my class started yesterday. I had a class that ended at 2. Ne? So basically it started at 12 until now, because I needed to revise. Remember, I was with you guys on 9. I need to revise these things overnight. I finished around 1 o'clock. Ne? So obviously, yeah, my fatigue. Yeah. And I'm still needing to practice simulation. I need to practice linear programming. Alright, guys. The job is jobbing this semester. Yo. Yeah. So you must tell them that, yes, I knew it. And I agree. It's gonna be difficult. Yeah. Smile winner. But yeah, I'm tired. In the lab, I wasn't working this hard. Yo. So 600 multiplied by 75, and then I'm getting 45. The answer is 153 in total. Ne? Even if you do that extra cost thing, it must end up at 153 as a total. Are we clear? Any method goes. Nah, I don't have a problem. I'm dealing with engineers, so they need to apply their minds. Then we have a homework, guys. 13.4. 13.4. I told you why you must do your homework, second, guys. Do them, please, and submit. Because you'll be ready when we're writing, at least. Yeah, I don't want anyone to be underprepared. This thing is recorded. It's on YouTube. Yeah. And subscribe, all of you. Next week at our class lister subscription. Not all. I'm still not reaching 1,000 subscribers. You must subscribe. And tell everyone else who's not. The electrical guys, I have a lot of content also related to electrical PLC. I'm very good with PLC programming and robotic programming. Remember, I was a lab technician. I know, yeah, you go to the lab, you look at the equipment, and then you go. Me, I went extreme extra mile with that. I was supposed to participate in a world-class competition whereby I represent South Africa. But unfortunately, I had to leave UJ. Because I wanted to become a lecturer at the end of the day. Lab technician, yeah, UJ doesn't have growth. Here, at least they do have growth, but there's almost nothing in the lab. So I left a very big vision there. Your digital twin equipment, Industry 4.0 equipment, fancy stuff, things worth around about 5 million. I left them there. But I regret nothing. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. But yeah, it's a fact. So now, you'll be producing at a constant rate of 1,400. Remember, this one varied. This one varied. Are we understanding each other? So this one is going to be 1,400 under production. You remain with your demand, then your production is 1,400. Then you minus and try to see what is happening. Your negatives are becoming what? Your negatives are going to become what you're going to subcontract. They say subcontract. So whatever negative you multiply by 75, that's your subcontracting. So you're going to have two types of costs. One cost is going to be for your inventory. The other cost is going to be for your subcontracting. Meaning that we do not have stockouts because we subcontract. Understand? The concept of laying off, remember it had the stockout. Why did you have the stockout in that case? Subcontractors are professionals. You hire professionals. Like in the case of we're trying to erect a structure. We can't do it all of us. We must subcontract that. Then they come and do it. It's like when they want to renovate this venue. They won't use the very same carpenters who like the chest to be like this. Obviously, they won't do the job. They would have to subcontract a company who knows about university furniture to come and upgrade the venue. Just like the venue said, U006. Or you guys didn't use that venue, right? One or something, GW or something. The ones by U006, they enjoyed themselves there at U006. So I wish all the venues were like that, honestly. They sad. We'll tell them one day. You must tell the vice chancellor that was right. Let us fix your venue. So, we have a benchmark just across the road. Go there and you'll see. You'll be shocked. That place is, everything is functional. Yeah. I came on Saturday to check one of my classes. It was data on a Saturday. Where I'm from, every day, all classes, they don't matter, they get cleaned. Toilets, they clean. In the morning, in the evening. Yeah, I don't know. That's not good, huh? Yeah. Now I'm one person. In my house, I clean the toilet because I'm like, I stay with 3 females. I need to take good care of them. Thrush is real. You know, as a guy, I know yeast. And my wife tends to suffer from it once in a while. And obviously, once she's there, obviously, there's nothing you can do. So I have to do the right thing for my own happiness. And I'm teaching all the boys. I got a chance. Clean the toilet. So now here's we said Kumkwen is now considering plan C. Keep a stable workforce by maintaining a constant production rate equal to the average requirements. What did I say about the requirements? It's equals to, what are your requirements? Requirement again, guys. Keep demand. So the average of what? Of demand is going to be what we are producing. You understand? Average requirement. Okay. Then allowing varying inventory. Inventory will always vary. Then beginning inventory stock out cost are as provided in, so the whole data is provided in the previous question, in other words. So I'm going to take the data now. I'm going to copy the data. Only the date. Copy. What I hate about this touch screen is that I'm not dependent on it. When I get home, my own laptop doesn't have touch screen, and I don't use this laptop at home. Because at home, we can pop anything anytime, champagnes, whatever, then I don't want to affect this computer. It's too expensive. There I do upload this university, or they know how to buy laptops. Okay, so that's our data as is. Okay, we can't copy and paste, unfortunately. That's why we must move away from writing in pen and use tablets. I mean, I don't understand. I thought COVID disrupted everything. We are now paperless, digital. It's a mind state that we are still relying on these things, guys. So, yeah, what can I do? I like the resistance to change. It simply means that some people will never agree to a software generated by AI. So it means that they can just wait a little bit. Those guys saying that or the software engineers' jobs will be affected by AI. Till now we resist. We don't buy Skellum. We resist. And plus we hate subscriptions. South Africans hate subscription. I know where I'll subscribe. I'd rather pay 100,000 rand to a software engineer than to pay $200 for ChatGPT to design me an AI-generated app. Ain't no way. No. There's no way. So it is what it is, and that's why we are here. Otherwise, you'd be sitting in your room wondering, or what is operation management from AI, and you think that you're gonna go and practice as an industrial engineer. No, there's no way, guys. Let's just be honest. Now, I wouldn't hire you. AI engineer, never. No, never. But yeah. So what are we producing, guys? We are producing the average of this. Factix is giving in. So I'm going to say, you add all of them, we divide by their number. There are 8 again. And then they're going to give you 1825. They must give me a breather, these people. You can't give a person to teach students 2 consecutive days and 2 consecutive periods. But I'm not complaining. So 18525 1825 1825 1825 1825 1825 1825. What are you picking up with this thing that I'm doing? The workforce is constant. Like we're not firing people, but are we okay? If we have negatives, we're going to, if we dare have negative, ne? We're going to subcontract. Are we clear? And then guys, if we have negative, we're going to subcontract. Let's see now. All right. So now 1825 minus 1400 equals to. Ooh. Did I say now? Flashbacks. I no longer remember whether I said it or I didn't say it because I've already said it in the next class. You see now, it's not efficient for me to teach 2 consecutive classes back to back. However, I'll repeat for the sake of making sure. You always substitute from production. Production minus demand. Okay? Then it will determine the sign. So if it's negative, it means that you can't produce it. If it's positive, you are overproducing. What is the answer? So we are overproducing. Ne? What is the title there on top? Inventory. Inventory. Right. So now 1825 minus 1600 plus 425 equals to, I've added something before it's needed. Help me guys, please. My sharpness is fading. 1800 plus 650 equals to, come on guys, the difference is 25, so 675. 825 minus, we are repeating the same values, 675 equals to 700. Then 1825 minus 2200 plus 700. Oh Lord, why is auto what 700 equals to, it's going down by 400. I don't remember getting this 325. Did I make a mistake in anyhow? What I like, you know the procedure, right? When you practice the right way. Sharp. Let's continue. Right. 1825 minus 2200 plus 325 equals to negative. Previously I didn't have a negative. That's why I'm very concerned. 50. Thank you. Right. 1825 minus 1800. Yeah, so I'm leave it as it is. So it's going to be 25, ne? Then 1825 minus 1800 plus 25, it's equals to 50. So we're going to have a stock out. Have we started okay, so you can choose between stock out and subcontracting. Ne? I tell you this thing wasn't supposed to have a negative. We made a mistake. The 700 is supposed to be probably 900. Somewhere there must be 900, so that when I go down, I go to 400. Not what we have done. There's a mistake somewhere. I'm unable to pick it up because I'm saying, I'm confessing, my sharpness is decreasing. The body's getting tired now. I'm unable to pick it up as I want. I remember 675. Let's see. This is 700. That's indeed. So what happened? Or maybe that. Come on, 1.25. Let me try this. Minus 2200 plus 700. We didn't do any mistake. It means this one is the right one. I don't know. Let's continue. We did make a mistake. Initially, the 200, guys. The 200. But luckily, I won't make you test. This thing has a lot of marks. This is like here. For being able to find the average, roughly 2 marks, yeah, there. So let me show you something, how we test 2 marks there. Then roughly it's going to be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. D guy, D8, that is how much? Multiplied by 16, isn't it? So that is already 18. We haven't yet started doing the totals. So this thing has a lot of marks. So I will only test you one method. So the 200 you will know, because we are carrying it from other scenarios that has nothing to do with this. So that's why we easily forget such things. And because of it's a bit of a ripple effect, you must know that you are bound to make a mistake. The reason why I'm rectifying it is because of we are recording. Ne? Otherwise, my body says, don't do it. I'm tired. And I'm sorry for that. And it's not me who scheduled myself on this time. I cannot fight. I cannot argue. I cannot say it's not possible. 825. But fatigue is real. Even truck drivers. When you start to see them sweeping out of the road, don't take out your phone and record. That is foolishness. You do hazards if you are driving. Are we understanding each other? You know, in my 9 years working experience with UJ, I have approximately 8 years driving there. Ne? And I can account to almost 5 episodes whereby drivers literally swept out of the road. Ne? But because of they were sweeping on the yellow lane and coming back and changing other lanes, hazard, meaning bright and turn it off. You bright and you turn it off, bright and turn it off. They woke up. Then I passed them, I did the, and then they thanked me after that. And that could be you saving a life. Unlike you waiting for that moment that it goes out of the road and it explodes. If it's a fuel tanker, you're going to be affected by that explosion. You think that he's dying and you are both dying. You understand? At times it will lose control and go disturb other cars on the other side. And that collision, most likely, a car will lose direction and come to you and hit you instead. You understand? So you might still die. It's final destination at the end of the day. So do not, you know. So fatigue is a real thing. 625 plus 625 equals to, this we're adding 200 on this, isn't it? Huh? 850, yeah. And then plus 850 equals to 875. Then the following one is 900, okay? Then the following one is to 500, isn't it? 525. Like this guy. Then equals to 150. Then equals to 175. Then equals to 200. So we don't have stock out. That's one thing I mean. Now we are right. Whew. Guys. Then you add them up. I'm not going to add them up. You add them up multiplied by the inventory cost of $20. Okay? As we move right along. A tricky question. This is what I wanted to get to. A tricky one. It is based on the very same data. Ne? I'll paste it same time. Here. Paste. Whoa. No. Where's my question? Where's my question? Paste. Yeah. And align it. Yes, aligned. Now I read the question. You start by sorting out the problems first, the tricky stuff. Can't do them under pressure. Keep that in mind. Do not forget that part. This thing is based on the same data, but we're having plan D. You can label on top, but now I'll ask you one plan. Two, we'll be pushing it. Already we are sitting at 16 here, and once you do the total, we'll be 16 at around about 20. Yeah, 20 is enough. If you do another one, it's becoming a 40. You see that if I say test another method, it's going to be a 40. And 14 must be 2 questions. That I want to. Me? Already we have the previous other ones that has a lot of marks also. No, I'll ask you one method. Are we clear? Yeah. Even in the exam, one method, not 2. Oh. No. Okay, what are they saying? Keep the current workforce stable at producing 1,600. Producing 1,600, they told us. In other cases, they require you to do the average. Ne? If they didn't mention anything, then they still say 1,000, keep the workforce stable. You do that on the average. Ne? Meaning you add the demand and you do the average of the demand. Okay. Yeah. So you write that you know that is you're gonna write it. Let's deal with the animal here in the house. The elephant in the room is permit a maximum of 20% overtime at an additional cost of $50. You see that what they are doing there? You see what they've done there? They've added the cost. They've added overtime. In other instances, they did subcontract. Okay? Actually, the following one, they're subcontracting. Here, we're not subcontracting, but we are having firstly producing the steady, constant or stable workforce. We are permitting a maximum of 20% on the overtime, and there's a cost here overtime, and then there is a warehouse constraint. There is a warehouse constraint. Which they didn't necessarily tell us what to do whenever we reach that constraint. It's a problem. So I'll shy away from putting constraints that can be broken unless I've taught it. Me, I don't try to say, hey, you must think out of the box, you're an engineer. Hey, you're doing 9 subjects. Engineers don't do any subjects. They go to work and they solve the problem. One problem at a time, being assisted by other departments. So let's not play here. So they have a maximum allowable inventory of 400. Okay, we know that you mustn't, whatever inventory you are having, it mustn't pass 400 units. You understand? And you have a 20% overtime. How are we dealing with this 20% overtime? If we were working with time, we're gonna say the time per day multiplied by 20%, okay? And then you get a certain figure, and then you add it to our 8 hours. So 8 hours multiplied by 1.2, you're going to get 9.6. So that is your overtime, 9.6 hours. But we don't have that. We are actually having products of 1,600. So in order to find our overtime, we multiply it by 20%, we're going to get a figure. So that's how you deal with the overtime. So overtime is actually overtime is actually 1600 multiplied by 0.2, which is equals to 320 units. That is your overtime. Anything that you can't produce, you drop it under the overtime. And the overtime is 320. It is possible that you can have a lot of things that you can't produce. Then you throw them under the stock out. You will see when you get there. Keep an open mind. Do not forget the 200. We've been repeating ourselves so many times. It's easy to forget the 200. Do not forget the 200 this time around. We have the 200 sitting there for our oh, that's why I always confuse. It's because of I don't start with the inventory. I start with the production. Okay. Immediately after doing this, you write inventory, and then you put your 200 there, and then you start. I can value this one, we don't count it. So this is your production, produce, and then 1600 all the way. You see it? This simply means that your workforce is the same. If you hired equipment, 3 of them, then you maintain that 3 equipment until they will give you that. Okay? Then now, remember, I want to run with the calculator first. So 1600 minus 1400 plus 200. Again, we're getting 400. All of us, again. We can't always do all the steps. Guess what? In a test, I mark steps. Don't give me answers. I know you like the problems. Give me the steps so that I can give you 1, 1, 1, 1. Even when you make a mistake, I can see where I mark. Unlike the entire answer, you're losing the 2 marks. I do sometimes mark logic, and I pray that the moderator ignores it. Okay? And I'm ready to defend it. And then ultimately, that's why you see sometimes this one, grace of God. God was with Mr. Nick. You understand? Then you know that this mark is not my mark. It's a given mark. Your mark is a 60 and above. A 50. That's why I said, don't come and ask for an extra. I've already tried to give you that extra, and I couldn't. If you're asking, you are meaning that HR must call me and deal with me. I'm saying this on a serious note. Do not write emails requesting marks, guys. Understand? We are parents of 3 kids. I know what I'm doing. I will look there and there. If I can't find anything, unfortunately, I can't find anything. After that, it's illegality, and then somebody must get fired of ethical behavior. So, moving right along with that 200, we are having 1600 minus 1600 is 0, and then our answer is 400. Okay, because we are carrying over the 400. Moving right along, then we have 1000, and that is negative 200 plus 400, that is 200. Then, moving right along, I see a 0. Moving right along, the stakes are changing. We're getting a negative what? 600. What is our limit of overtime? 320. Yet we're having 600 that we're giving those guys back overtime. And that's when they fight. Oh, you can't do this. The capacity is not enough. They fight literally. You know, in the plant, hey guys, you're gonna see nice things. They fight literally, those fighters of yours. You must remember your father go planting Mamita Brajoka, Mamita Steve. Hey Steve Ovo, you didn't do your job. I'm going to give you a warning. That time, half of his age is line manager. That's what happened. We are Steve Ovo there go planting. And don't be surprised when you see such things. They might traumatize you, I understand. But it's part of work. But what is important, no, none of my students must get to industry and they become chacharach. You mustn't. You will die there. You have seen this lady, the Indian lady, man, who was solving a Tembisa hospital. I'm forgetting her name. She's famous. She got killed for what? Speaking out. Understand? You must choose your battles wisely. Don't be pimpy. The next thing you're using the same taxi with those people. Or recommend but layoffs. You are the first one to say, based on these calculations, we must lay off. Then next thing you're in the same taxi with the Madala and you're telling me, my line manager said we must fire 10 people. And you fired this Madala at that time. You understand? Such things. In Africa, in Mzansi particularly, where we are fighting for jobs with the internationals, no, you can't. Now I'll tell you, no automation must replace anyone's job. That's how. And I'm an industrial engineer. And I'm very good with the automation, by the way. But I will never advocate for the people to be fired. Because now I was raised by unemployed parents. I know the struggle. Unless you go to Germany, Germany, for the industry 4.0, it coming from Germany. When you are there, 5-1. Don't stress. You go to Dubai. Not here. Okay, so we got our stuff again. So now we are trying to do overtime. Yeah? Let's do the overtime now. Overtime, OT. 600 within 320. That's how you ask yourself. It's 600 within 320. It's above 320. So you're gonna only produce 320. So you can write it. I'm gonna write it only once. 320 minus 600. We have a shortfall of 280. Prove it then your calculators. Right again? Yes. That shortfall is stock out. If the question wanted us to subcontract, you were going to subcontract. But there's no way you can subcontract over or above and beyond overtime. Why didn't you make overtime your 6 to 6? You understand? Yes. So the overtime was supposed to be 100%, even 6 to 6. So meaning that you overtime here 8 hours, then you move to another 8 hours, about 16 hours. It makes sense, or 12 hours. So you didn't plan properly, so you leave this thing, you couldn't produce it. Don't call subcontractors. Subcontractors are never cheap. What is the rate of our subcontractors in this case? $75. Yeah? So that's not cheap. Or even the one of hiring and firing. The hiring price also $50 and then dollars multiplied by 18. That is not cheap. So moving right along, we throw it under this, under stock out, which is more expensive. Although it's an opportunity cost, this thing, you don't lose it directly. So this one, 320, 280 that side. This one, 200. They are within the 320. That's why I didn't want to substitute, because they are within the 320, so you produce them as they are. Understand? There are calculations initially whereby you were needed to produce as is, like the 1,600. That is initially, produce them as they are. But on this case, you can't produce the 320 because it's what it says, maximum of 320. So you're not supposed to produce the 320. You only produce the 320 when you have extra things of 320 or above. Then you know that you cap to 320, you take the remainder to stock out. And that allows us to come. So now, what is your inventory cost? What is your inventory cost? Is inventory is 400 multiplied by what? By 20 again. That is 8K, ne? 8K. This one also 8K. Now I'm doing like this. I'm multiplying. So times 20 here times 50 here times 100. You see what I've done now? You see what I've done? So you multiply each except this guy. The more understand how silly it is. You can easily add him on your calculation, yet you didn't forget him. Yes. It's a problem, but his problems is part of life. We all are seeing flames. So now this one, it becomes 4K. Then you do here, there's no cost. So this table I said is extra cost. Then here it gets a little bit tricky. We have 320 multiplied by 50 plus 280 multiplied by 100. Then we're going to get a 44. 44K, 44K. Then this one is 10K. Because why? It's only 200. 200 multiplied by 50 is 10K. The next one, 10K. I omitted a lot of calculations, but still right. Why? I want to move fast because I still have other questions to cover. We're going to do the same thing. Look at the next question. It says, keep current workforce, which is producing 620, 1,600. So, which means that this remains. Okay? This remains. And then this part remains. Okay? Do you see that? These two parts, they remain the same, basically. Ne? But we no longer have overtime, we no longer have stock out because we're using subcontractors. We trust subcontractors that will produce what we need. Okay? So now the change actually is in the subcontracting. So you come here and you write the subcontract. So that is plan E, I believe. Who's smoking? Yo, I'm one person who's allergic to smoke. Like, yo, my lungs, yeah. I would never date a smoker. But luckily, I am married to a non-smoker. So a sharp. No problems. Subcontract. I have bronchitis, by the way. I had it since I was young. The sickness tsaba nothing. So 600, it's what we're going to subcontract. We're subcontracting only the negatives. At this comparison, I like it. Because you can just add there when you're comparing the two. I like it. Yeah, this is a test level. I like it. Again, don't want to reveal too much. Said I like it. Practice it. Again, practice this. This method, because you just want to add on the subcontract thing. Then now you're doing the extra cost. You're comparing the extra cost. Extra cost. 8K. These ones, they remain the same. They can't change. Why would they change? 4K. This one, 600 multiplied by the value of subcontracting. It's not written here. In a test, it will be written. Not far, like in this case. Look how many questions I must skip. It's not here, it's not there. It's actually in your homework. 75. You see that? So you come back, you use it here. 75. So 600 multiplied by 75 equals to 45K. 45K. 45 again. 200 multiplied by 75, which is 15K, 15K. Then I'm going to add them up. 16 plus 4 is 20. 20 plus 44 plus 44 plus 20. I'm getting 128 this side. 128. I know there's that guy saying, Kanti, why the K? Hey, Muna, the K is 1,000, Muna. 128 in full is like this. Then I start from where? From 20, ne? So I'm going to say 45, actually 90. I got 45, 45k 90. 90 plus 30, ne? 30. Then 140. Hey, it appeared as if it was slick, this one, because 45, 45, then 15, 15, and it's still expensive. You see the difference of 12k, ne? So there's a difference of around about 12k. So plan D is better. Cost, we take the lowest. Okay? So yeah. And that's your basically, yeah, plan E, plan, yeah. This one has a lot of potential. Test, exam, but I can't show it multiple times, unfortunately. But there's a lot of potential. And what deal? Look at this one. So make me happy. Homework is similar to what we have done. This is our homework, 13.9. It's similar to what we just done. And what I like about it, it has almost everything in one place. So this homework, it continues car 13.10. So as you can see, Mola 13.10, they have the overtime of 20%. They have production of 1300. So it's a lot similar. Basically, if you do this homework with confidentiality, copying the what we've done previously, you should be able to do the homework. And ain't no way you can get harder than that. Something of the table. Ain't no way. These are the most hardest exercises. Not why. It's my teaching style or what? Why now my classes are very long? But already, time is up. I'm left with 30 minutes. So, on the next one now, with the previous guys, I'm tired. I need to remember. Next week we are finalizing another part, but I need to explain this. This one I didn't do the calculations. Yeah, I believe you can practice it. This one, they are tricky. It's just in the wedding. They didn't explicitly tell you what you must do. But let us analyze them and we'll call it a day, both of them. So we zoom here. The storyline has no data. We look at here. What are you picking up? They're giving previous quarter output. So this one goes with the one when you want to fire and higher because they give you the previous month. It means that your production now is going to be fluctuating. So for January, if this was January, we were gonna say for January we are producing 1,500, like I've written here, and then for February we are producing 1,400, for March 1,200, and then you start doing your calculations. So it means that you're gonna look at the arrows. This one went down. This one went down. This one 1,500 went up. So you higher or fire. Ne? But firstly, you need to look at the statement. What does it say? It says first try hiring and layoffs. So it means that you are using this method because it's gonna guide you how much people you must hire and how much people you must fire. Ne? Done. So it's simplified. It's not specifying a lot of things. If it happens, one of the tests, one of the exams has this type of a thing, I want to make sure that we are in the same room. Then try a plan that holds employment steady. When you're holding employment steadily, you will add the demand, divide by that demand, yeah? Divide by 8, for instance. In this case, divide by 4. Then you take that demand, you use it as a production, né? And then anything extra you choose whether you want to say you subcontract or maybe you the other one is making the stock out, né? So then which one is more economical? This one is straightforward. So moving right along. So in this case, same thing. They have the same thing. They don't have beginning inventory, but they do have the previous quarter. Why the previous quarter? Because it's going to help us to answer the strategy that hires and fires personnel as necessary to meet the forecast. Hire and fire. Yeah? And then a level strategy. The same thing. You add the demand, divide by, then you get average of the demand. Let's see. A level strategy that produces 1,200. It tells you that I'm producing 1,200. Then I want to, anything extra, I want to subcontract. Then which strategy is the lowest cost plan out of the three? If you are joint boss VIP operation, which plan do you implement and why? What is the plan of us saying to check the different costs? It's because of we want to reduce the cost so that we can make more moolah. Less cost, more profit. Remember from the previous thing? Yes. Sales equals to, no. Profit is equals to sales minus cost. The lower the cost, the higher the profit. The sales must be constant. Don't, no matter what, attempt to increase the sales because the sales will increase the cost. Are we clear? And next week, we're doing this part. Once we're done with these exercises, they're straightforward, these ones. I now master them, I'm glad. And then the following week, we're writing. Yes. Provided that we're not interrupted by a strike. Listen, provided that we're not affected by any other factors, because they gave us a global timetable from other departments when they are making us to write. But we have 2 days. We have the day of online, we have the day of face-to-face. I like that 1 year online day because I can book a venue and do all right so that I can talk the song eyes. Unlike 2 different faces, I want you in one place. So already we have a clue on which day we're gonna write. So send it to your WhatsApp group. First remember, okay, also you and the other one, Kima. Yes, okay, now I can sit back and Anna will send it to you. Yeah. And homework, do the homework. Not no surprise. The don't follow the questions of my first days are but I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. How much scope, guys? The calculations that we have done. What scope do you want? We've done nice calculations.